call the meeting to order, and we do have a quorum. All three commissioners are present. And at this time, Danette York, would you like to lead us in the flag salute today? Okay.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Public comment? None? Okay. By the way, Commissioner Jackson, you have a wonderful looking tie on today.
I was thinking the same thing about you, sir.
They're the same ones. Oh, dear. I feel left out.
We can get you one.
No, thanks.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I move that we approve the proclamation regarding September as National Recovery Month.
Second.
A proclamation declaring September as National Recovery Month, whereas behavioral health is an essential part of health and one's overall wellness. And whereas prevention of mental and/or substance abuse disorder works, treatment is effective, and people recover in our area and around the nation. And whereas preventing and overcoming mental and/or substance abuse disorder is essential to achieving healthy lifestyles, both physically and emotionally. And whereas we must encourage relatives and friends of people with mental and/or substance abuse disorders to implement preventative measures, recognize the signs of a problem, and guide those in need to appropriate treatment and recovery support services. And whereas in 2014, of the 22.5 million age 12 or older who needed help with a substance abuse disorder, only 2.6 million, or 11.6%, received specialty substance abuse treatment any time in the prior year. According to SAMHSA, which is the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration report, 2014 National Survey on Drug Use and Health, additionally in 2014, almost half, 44.7%, of the 43.6 million American adults aged 18 and older who experienced a mental illness in the past year received mental health care, according to a new report by SAMHSA. Given the serious nature of this public health problem, we must continue to reach the millions more who need help. And whereas, to help more people achieve and sustain long-term recovery, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, the White House Office of National Drug Control Policy, and the Lewis County Public Health and Social Services invite all residents to participate in National Recovery Month. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Lewis County Board of County Commissioners hereby proclaim the month of September 2017 as National Recovery Month. Matt Patton from Cascade, would you like to speak on this issue?
Thank you. I just would like to invite everybody to a recovery event taking place on Friday, September 15th, 2017. The event's going to take place in Rotary Riverside Park from 4 to 7 p.m. There's going to be hot dogs, chips, and water available for anybody that would like to have those, and there's also going to be a motorcycle ride for those who are inclined. You have to bring your own motorcycle, starting at 5 p.m. I imagine there may be some pity we'll be able to work something out if you're really interested. And that will start at 5 p.m. There's going to be a radio feed, live radio feed from Live 95 during the entire event. And it's not just for people in recovery, but for anybody that's interested in recovery. Would love to have you there. There's going to be a number of vendors there that also are involved in recovery as well. So just want to invite the entire community. Thank you.
Matt, I was going to ask you a few questions. We usually have people identify themselves and who they work for.
My name is Matt Patton. I'm the Chief Clinical Officer at Cascade Mental Health Care.
And how long have you been there?
I've been at Cascade right around 15 years now.
So you've probably seen a lot of changes throughout the years.
Absolutely, yeah, and one of the biggest changes and kind of the best changes is the awareness of our community in terms of the need of behavioral health services. When I first started here, it was definitely pushed back in a corner and was only available or was only recognized on a kind of an emergency basis, and I'm certainly been thrilled with the way that our community has rallied around those who have behavioral health issues and has really placed an emphasis on recovery.
Thank you for your work on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Okay, any other comments? Okay, a motion is made and second to approve the proclamation proclaiming declaring September as National Recovery Month. Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passed. Okay, thank you.
I move to approve the notice items, resolutions 17-247 and 17-248.
Second?
Good morning.
Good morning, Larry.
Larry Elzelman, Real Estate Services Manager with Public Works, speaking to Resolution 17-247, which is regarding the temporary closure of a portion of Lakeside Drive to all through traffic. Lakeside Drive is located in the Lake Mayfield Village and Heights area.
Could we put the
And,
map up just for folks to see?
Pardon me?
She's pulling up the map for us. So
Oh,
there you go.
great. And it's necessary for Lewis County to replace a culvert on Lakeside Drive at milepost 0.22, and it'll be necessary to close Lakeside Drive between Streamside Drive and Lake Drive, Streamside Drive being on the east and Lakeside Drive being on the west side, during the time of the work. And Lakeside Drive will remain open for local access up from either side up to the point of closure for local traffic. There are other roads available for detour in that general area. And this resolution would close that portion of Lakeside Drive in Section 28, Township 12 North, Range 2 East, beginning September 5th and ending on September 13th of 2017.
Hey, thank you.
Morning, Commissioner. Steve Walton, Central Services Director, speaking to Resolution Number 17-248, Notice of Hearing for the third budget amendment for 2017. Notice of the public hearing will be published in the Chronicle on August 31st and on September the 5th, and the hearing will be held on the 18th. The total budget amendment for all funds will be noticed as a revenue increase of $216,134, an expenditure increase of $250,271 for an overall change in fund balance of $34,587. The current expense or general fund portion of this amendment thus far is a revenue increase of $16,134, expenditure increase of $17,721 for an overall use of fund balance of $1,587. These numbers will be updated between now and the hearing date, and we'll cover those on the 18th. Any questions?
Now, what did you say the fund balance? I'm looking at the resolution. It says 34,000. What did you say?
The change in the fund
It
balance?
says a use of fund balance of 34,000.
$34,587, yes. That's for overall for all funds.
For all funds.
All
Not
funds.
just.
The biggest portion of this amendment thus far is for pits and quarries for the purchase of sand and rock from Public Works.
The Public Works, which is a different fund.
Different
than
fund from the current expense, correct.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
A motion is made and second to approve the notice items, resolution, two items, numbers 17-247 and 17-248. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
I move that we approve the consent items, approval of minutes, and resolution 17-249.
Second.
Good morning, Commissioner. Suzette Smith, Chief Accountant in the Auditor's Office, here to present to you Resolution Number 17-249. This is the weekly approval of claims against the various county departments. Last week, we issued 210 regular warrants. numbered 775-319 through 775-479, and 775-604 through 775-652, for a total of $618,746.19. These warrants were issued between August 18th and 24th. In addition, we note the following warrants as a skip in sequence. These were issued on behalf of our special purpose districts: 775-480 through 775-603. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A motion is made and second to approve the consent items. That's the approval of the August 21st, 2017 minutes, and then the 217-249 approval of warrants. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
I move to approve the deliberation items, including resolutions 17-250 through 17-253.
Second?
Okay.
And once again, Commissioner Suzette Smith, Chief Accountant in the Auditor's Office, this time presenting resolution number 17-250. This resolution will commit $36,800 in Fund 301, which was formerly the Land Acquisition Fund, is now the Capital Repairs and Maintenance Fund. This $36,800 was received as an additional distribution from a request that Lewis County received a few years ago. The bequest did not have a specific restriction for capital for the animal shelter. However, the intent is for capital, and the commissioners have chosen to honor that intent by committing these resources for that specific purpose. GASB Statement Number 54 is what allows you to do this. It defines fund balance, and the commitment of fund balance is the entity's highest level of authority's decision to use funding in a specific manner. And this will commit the $36,800 to the capital repairs and maintenance in the Fund 301 for the purpose of the animal shelter. Any questions? Thank you.
Good morning, Danette York, Director of Public Health and Social Services, and I am speaking to resolution number 17-251. This is to approve a contract amendment number 1 with Thurston County Public Health and Social Services to provide the Nurse Family Partnership Supervisory Services. We currently have a contract with them because we are mandated by the Nurse Family Partnership Fidelity for the program to have a supervisor of our home visiting nurses. Thurston County currently provides that service for us, but the contract that we have with them expires at the end of August. We are not going to have the joint team ready to go by the end of August, so this amendment extends the contract through the end of December of 2017. We hope to have our agreement in place to do the Nurse Family Partnership joint team prior to that, but that'll give us plenty of time to get it taken care of and at least start the joint team by January 1st of 2018.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Chief Chris Sweet, Lewis County Sheriff's Office. I'm speaking to Resolution 17-252. It's a resolution to approve an amendment agreement with HomeWave to continue video visitation and video arraignment services. This is just an extension of a previous 5-year contract we've already have with HomeWave. This is a 4-year contract with a 1-year extension. But I would like to bring to your attention, Commissioners, there are some changes to the previous contract that we did. When we looked at the system that we have now, HomeWave is a kiosk system that we have in our facility. There's 26 of them that the inmates are able to connect with their families on home visitation. We also use the same system for the municipalities, Chehalis and Centralia courts for court arraignments. So we looked at it, we knew that, it's 5 years in the making. We knew technology was better now, 5 years later. So we called HomeWave and we asked them to come out, look at our facility and see what they can do to upgrade our system. And in fact, they did fly out. They brought in a local company, Seabrook Computers, that they subcontracted with. They did a site assessment, and they are in agreement to replace all of our 26 kiosks. No cost to us, but it's going to be HomeWave that's going to update all of our kiosks in there. With that update, we're also going to have them include the law library, which we provide to our inmates that need to actually review any case laws, whatever, with their attorneys. Our current law library now is basically a room that has a computer, and we need to do hard drive updates every few months, 6 months. This will eliminate that. And we'll have the law library on 26 of those kiosks. So it's going to save a whole bunch of time for my deputies in the jail for transports and scheduling those times. The other change to that is there's a slight reduction in cost for the families, which is good. It was originally 50 cents a minute. They reduced it to 25 cents a minute with the hope that HomeWave wants to increase the usage. So they're lowering that usage fee because they want to actually increase the usage. And they're in other facilities throughout the United States, and this is a model that they wanted to approach us with, and I was in full agreement with that to see. Very minor revenue producing system for us. It's a 60-40 split. 60% of the revenue goes to HomeWave, 40% goes to us. So we're not thinking that there's going to be any major revenue producing stuff with this. It's just a process that we provide to the inmates' families and the courts that we have for video arraignment. And that's basically it. Is there any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
You bet.
Good to see you, Chief.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, Graham Gowing, Community Development. I'm here to speak about Resolution 17-253, a resolution to accept grant offers to construct various site improvements at the Ed Carlson Memorial South Lewis County Airport. Lewis County intends to reconstruct the main parallel taxiway and replace the vertical approach slope indicator with the current standard precision approach path indicator, with financial assistance from both the FAA and Washington State DOT. The FAA will be responsible for 90% of the anticipated project costs, 5% paid by DOT, and the remaining 5% paid by Lewis County. Any questions?
When do you think we'll be done?
In 2018, the work is anticipated to start here soon. They can't do the actual reconstruction of the taxiway during the wet season, so they're going to try to get the electrical work done. They can work on the PAPI, the precision approach path indicators, in the wet season, and also there's some trenching to be done, and then the actual reconstruction of the taxiway when it starts drying out in 2018 is the plan.
So that's about May.
Hopefully.
Well, the way our calendar usually is. So. Thank you. That's about $1 million. The Toledo one's about $1 million more than the Packwood
Yeah,
ended
correct.
up to be. So just for reference. So yes, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Rodney.
And that $1 million is not coming more, it's not coming out of our general fund.
No,
There's
no,
that 95%, et cetera.
No. So
I saw yesterday that airport was being used quite a bit during the threshing bee
Yeah.
because the jumpers were jumping out of planes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do it, but,
crazy.
yeah.
Not out of
Okay.
a perfectly good airplane, no.
Okay, a motion is made and approved to accept 4 deliberation items, resolutions 17-250 through 17-253. Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passed. Okay? Okay, with that, now, we're going to move into our hearings. We have 2 of them today. Go ahead and call the meeting to order on this. First off, we'll first have a staff report, then followed by question and answer period. We will then close the question and answer period and open the hearing for formal testimony. We'll allow 3 minutes for public testimony, and then any citizens wishing to sign up, we've got a sheet up there, so you may sign up.
And there's 3 ladies out
Three
there
ladies?
that would like maybe make some comments, so you
Okay.
probably need to sign up on the sheet.
So you can sign up. Okay, at this time, then we'll go ahead and, while we're getting people signed up, Mr. Unselman, would you like to proceed with your report?
Larry Unselman with Public Works Department. Speaking to the Order of Establishment 2017-01 regarding the matter of accepting the establishment of a change in Roundtree Road. And on June 22nd of 2015, the board passed Resolution 15-186, which declared their intention to establish a change in that Lewis County road designated as Roundtree Road number 194. The county road engineer was ordered at that time to make an examination of the proposed road and, if necessary, a survey of the road, acquire all the necessary right-of-way, and report back on the project. The survey, right-of-way acquisition, and construction have now been completed, and on July 13th of 2017, the county road engineer filed his report with the board, setting forth all things required, and filed with such report a map of the road as surveyed. The engineer's report states generally as follows: that this establishment is necessary to change the location of a portion of Roundtree Road due to the continued movement and erosion of the Chehalis River. All right-of-way needed for this change has been conveyed to the county by deed, free and clear of all acceptable encumbrances, and recorded with the county auditor. All acquisition was done in accordance with the adopted procedure per Resolution 14-160. The change in Roundtree Road was constructed under the inspection of the Public Works Department staff, who certify that all such construction work is now complete and was performed in accordance with the current Lewis County road standards. It's the opinion of the county engineer, as stated in his report, that the road should be established for the reason that it's a public necessity. Resolution 17-210, which was passed after that report on July 24th of 2017, set this date, August 28th, as the time for hearing. And in the interim, it was posted and published as required by RCW 3681-070. The establishment resolution declares that the publishing and posting was done, and the board, after consideration of the engineer's report and all other evidence, would find it to be a public necessity. The establishment finds that the road change in the road in government lots 1 and 2 and the southwest quarter and the northeast quarter of Section 2, Township 12 North, Range 4 West, would be a county road no less than 60 feet in width, and the same be named as a change in the Roundtree County Road.
Could we see a map? Okay, I'm looking for the
change is near the northerly portion of that, where the old road as it was laid out veered to the northeast or kind of to the right on that map. And the new alignment ran more north-south, straight up and down on the map, which essentially pulled it west of the Chehalis River. And it was the engineer's opinion at the time that it was more cost-effective to actually move the road away from the river than it was to try and stabilize that riverbank at that point.
How close is, I mean, just if you were to drive up there, how close is it, the river to the road?
The river was basically, as you see the old road, the river was basically up against that road.
Oh.
So it's the width of the old road basically, which is probably a 40-foot right-of-way. So it varies, but it could be 40, 50 feet.
Okay. I can't help but think about the Cowlitz River there out of Randall, to see that deteriorating year after year and then them going up and finally fixing it. But looks like it could have been done a little bit earlier. Are there any other questions? At this time,
I think we have one.
yeah, we do. We've got. I think we got some people signed up there. Yeah, question. I'm sorry.
Ron Averill, Centralia area. When we had a previous action on this, I pointed out that I was county commissioner when this first came to our attention. And Larry, one of my concerns is that, when we're talking about 40 feet or 40 yards?
I would say it's probably 40 to 50 feet. 40
or 50 feet. As I recall, this area, the erosion, it's rather steep. It's not like it is in Cowlitz where it's very low. It's higher up. But I am, if we just moved back 40 feet, what is the rate of erosion that we're seeing there, and is this going to be a potential future problem?
It was the opinion of the engineers that looked at this that would be a sufficient distance for a good amount of time, because we did purchase that entire property to the west side, so we could have moved it as far west as we would have needed. They felt that this was an adequate distance. I have not been out there recently to see what the erosion has done in the last year or two since that's been moved. But it...
So in the estimate of the engineer, however, you got sufficiently there that probably for 50 years it's going to be...
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, are there any more questions? Any more questions? Okay, now we're going to close the question and answer period. At this time, would you like to have your opening comments incorporated into the hearing?
Yes, I would, please.
Okay. Now we're going to open the hearing for public testimony, and I think we have some names signed up there. Okay. Teresa Wilson, and welcome. Thank you for coming.
I'm a resident on Roundtree Road.
Okay.
And we have noticed the erosion on the road next to Ann Aust property. It is a steep bank and it's slow. What we're opposed to is the 60 feet that the county wants to impose on this road. It is now a 30-foot road. These women have pastures and fences and things that'll all have to be moved. There is large trees on Mary Ann's property that she is concerned about moving. And I don't know, you want to say something?
Okay.
We know the road needs to be fixed.
Okay.
It is a 30-foot road. We're not wanting a 60-foot road. It's like a dead-end road. There is 3 women, widows, living on this road, and myself. And it has a big turnaround at the end.
Okay,
And we have trucks running. There's plenty of room on there for the traffic, is what we've seen.
okay. So Larry, is that, I guess my question is that standard protocol when we just go from, if it's, the fence you say was 30 feet, and then they'd have to move fences?
Yeah, all the road is pastured, and it's like, I just put in new fence last year, paid a gentleman to put in new fence. Mary Ann has a lot of fence. She leases out her pasture and her land. Mary over here, she has pastures also and fence.
Okay.
Now, this would only affect all we're talking about today is the very end of the road.
Okay.
It's no effect on anything that's not shown on that map there.
Okay.
Which is only the part that was changed last summer when it was reconstructed. And there's no further major reconstruction planned at this time. It's only the end.
Okay, that helps, because we're not professional map readers.
Sure.
But we're the residents.
Glad you're here.
Thank
so-
you. Appreciate your coming in.
So I guess my question then, Larry, this is not going to affect, it will not affect they won't have to move fences or anything like that?
No, nothing in this
And-
project, no.
Okay,
We wanted to know about the repair on the road that's sitting next to the river, where it fell in the river. Not the road, but it's right beside it. And this concerns Mary Ann Aust here.
For sure.
okay. Mary Albright, is that correct?
This is Mary Albright.
Mary Albright.
Okay, and then we have Mary
Ann Aust.
Mary Ann Aust,
Two
okay.
Marys.
So again, ask questions, and you've got, obviously you got comments. So if there's any clarification, this is a great time to get it.
Mary Ann, you have something?
Mary Ann?
I would like to say we really have enjoyed the new road. They did a beautiful job, and we're thankful for that. And
Okay.
the water has washed really close to the road. So anyway, I guess we just kind of hate to see things change.
Okay. But hopefully you're not going to have to change your fence,
We're
so,
hoping.
so,
That's what our concern was.
okay. Okay, thank you. Now, Mary Albright, do you want to come up and you have some comments? And thank you for coming.
Yeah, I was just wondering why the need of this. They just did the road, and now they're going to widen it again.
I'm going to defer.
This is formalization of the end of the project that was already done. So the road change that you saw a year ago is what we're formalizing and ending today, and there's no future project planned there. So the only change proposed is at the very end of the road here, which was done last summer.
So this is the final,
Could you hear that, Mary?
Yeah, but it's not making sense to me. I mean, what's the need for it?
I think in the point, it's already been done, hadn't it, Larry? Yeah, it's already been done.
Finalizing
it's
it.
finalizing it.
There's no new changes coming. It's done, but they're required by law to formalize what they've done because we had a road change. So what maps and things like that will reflect the new changes. So there's no more going to be done. The project's finished.
Mary, did somebody tell you that they were going to be widening your road? Did somebody tell you this, that they were going to do further work on that road?
Well, I just found out about this morning, so,
Okay.
this meeting.
So we're all done with the construction, right?
Correct.
We're just finalizing, and this is the formality of,
Road is like it is. It's
yeah,
done.
yes. It's all done.
Yes. But we want to make sure in the future, if there's some confusion that brought this to you thought that this was going to be bigger than what it was, we need to correct that. So just want to make sure where you heard that this was going to be different.
We took the notice off of the post and made copies.
Okay, so the post, okay.
Okay. Okay, so you're good? Are you good with your questions? Want to make sure. Okay. Oh.
Yeah. Right,
Sure, absolutely.
good job.
Well, good. Thank you, and thank you guys for coming, too. Much appreciated. Okay. No more public testimony. So
And
this,
Larry, could you follow up with them later and just to confirm what we've said today?
Yes, I certainly
Okay.
can.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
yes, we got addresses and all that good stuff, so.
Thank you for your testimony.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now, I guess with no questions or comments, public testimony, we'll close the hearing for public testimony.
Okay, I move that we approve the establishment number 2017-01 to accept the establishment of a change to the Roundtree Road.
Second.
Okay, a motion is made and second to approve the number 2017-01 to accept the establishment of a change to Roundtree Road. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Okay. Give you that one right there. Okay, now the second ordinance is number 1277, and at this time, we'll call the meeting to order, and we'll first have staff report, followed by question and answer period. We will then close the question and answer period and open the hearing for public testimony. And at this time, if anyone has any public testimony, they can go sign up, and there should be a sign-up sheet there. And at this time, Mr. Unselman, would you like to proceed?
Certainly. Larry Unselman here again for the record. This hearing is regarding Ordinance 1277. It's regarding consent to transfer of a controlling interest in Astound Broadband LLC, which holds a non-exclusive franchise for telecommunication facilities on road rights-of-way in this county. Resolution 17-224 passed on August 7th, set this date as a date for hearing, and notice was published and posted as required by RCW. Astound Broadband is a wholly owned direct subsidiary of Wave Division Holdings, LLC. The franchise was transferred to Astound by Cascade Networks, which transfer was approved by the Board of County Commissioners on February 13th of 2017. Astound currently provides service to Winlock and Onalaska schools, but they do hold a county-wide franchise to allow the opportunity for expansion of their services as needed. Their services come off existing fiber lines, primarily those installed by Lewis County PUD. Wave, who again is the owner of Astound Broadband, has entered into an agreement with Radiate Holdco to sell its interest in Astound to Radiate Holdco. Astound Broadband LLC will continue to hold the franchise with Lewis County, but the controlling interest or the ownership of that entity is changed as part of the transaction. Lewis County Code 12.40 requires county consent by ordinance when working control of a company changes in a franchise. And Wave has approached us with this and asked that consent for the change in control be granted by the county. And by passing this ordinance, pursuant to Lewis County Code 12.40, Lewis County would consent to the change in controlling interest in Astound Broadband from Wave to Radiate Holdco LLC. So the franchise holder is not changing. It's going to remain Astound Broadband. It's just the ownership and controlling interest of that company is changing from Wave to Radiate Holdco.
So whenever there's a change like that, we obviously have to renew our lease and all the other things that go along with it. Okay?
And isn't Wave what is providing internet to Packwood? Isn't the Wave group?
I'm not sure. I know that they do provide it within the county. I'm not sure where it is.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, any other questions? Any questions?
Ron Evo from Centralia. I guess, Larry, one of the concerns that I have is because, it's quite common for ownership changes is why is this in the ordinance that we'd have to actually change an ordinance because of a change of ownership on a right-of-way project?
Why is it in our county code that?
Yeah. In other
that
words,
requires?
I think what I'm suggesting is we're making it difficult for ourselves and requiring some extra action because we've got it in the ordinance rather than being an administrative action.
Yeah, I'm not sure I can really answer your question other than it does say ordinance in the county code, so that's the reason why we're going.
I want to look at that in the future because I say, companies change hands and it seems to me to put in, a specific name in ordinance is requiring action that wouldn't normally be required administratively. That's not impacting what's going to happen today, but needs to be, I think, thought about for the future.
How long has that been in the ordinance, do you think? Forever?
It's been in that code for a number of years.
Well, maybe we can look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Streamline business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, at this time, then we'll go ahead and close question and answer period. Would you like to have your comments incorporated into the hearing?
I would, please.
Okay. This time, we're going to open the hearing for public testimony. Are there any names over there? Okay. She's checking quickly. I don't think we have any. Okay. At this time, then, we'll close the public hearing for public testimony. Call for the...
Yes. I move that we approve Ordinance 1277, which would consent to the transfer of controlling interest in Astound Broadband LLC.
Second.
Okay, a motion is made and second to approve the transfer of controlling interest to Allstott Broadband LLC. Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passed. Okay, what's that?
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you, Larry. Much appreciated. Good of the order.
Well, this week was pretty full in Lewis County. I think I met many people from outside the area who brought their cars to the Hub City Car Show. Rachel, wasn't there over like 270 cars there? It was a big deal, and people from all over came to that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I know some of those cars were asked to come back yesterday downtown. The Centralia Downtown Association is doing a 360 tour. So they wanted to come in, take videos of their historic buildings with those historic cars in front of them. So it was pretty busy downtown, both Saturday and Sunday. And on Saturday, well, actually it was Friday night, the Threshing Bee started off with the procession of the tractors. And that was pretty amazing to see all the different tractors. One was as old as 1906. And I think the newest one that I saw was 1953. But to see all those tractors go from Toledo itself to the Heron Farm where the Threshing Bee.
Pretty cool.
It was. Being a farm girl, I was pretty amazed to see all these John Deere tractors. And there was one gentleman holding a baby. And that baby was wide awake when they left the Toledo area. But by the time they got to the Heron Farm, that baby was sound asleep. And here on this tractor, it's going put, 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 put. But that's a farm kid for you.
Yes.
And then, of course, we had the Garlic Festival going on. And good music, good garlic. I've got enough garlic now to last me a while. But this was the first time that the county has done that. Usually it's been the DeVals who really brought it up and coming, and now the county has taken it over from them. So anyway, we had plenty to do in Lewis County. We didn't have to leave our county to have a good time.
Very busy. Commissioner Jackson?
Nothing for the group.
Okay. Anything for the press conference today? Okay.
So Ron Averill, once again, in Centralia area. I missed a number of these things because we had a state committee meeting of the Republican Party in Spokane on Friday and Saturday, all day Saturday. I got home about 2200. Bobby, that's 10 p.m. But what was interesting in it is we had a report of how we did in the primaries. And, the turnout here in Lewis County, I think, was below 20%. In the 45th district, it was 40%, which for primary is pretty high. We did very well in the 7th. The two candidates, one for Senate and one for House, Short and Maycomer, both were in the high 60% on there, so that looks good for the general election. In the 31st district, Fortunato was 57%, which is, it looks really good, but I think the turnout was a little slower, so we're going to have to watch that as we go to the general election, and where we expect a little bit higher turnout, but it was a happy result. What was not a happy result is 31st district. The Jen Jung England had 41.5%, and Dringa, the lady Democrat that's running against her, had 51.5%, about 10% difference. In that race, there was a third candidate that got 7%, and that means that with that 40% turnout that we had a lot of work to do. It's considered a swing district. However, from a standpoint of voting history, there is a Democrat advantage to it. So it is going to take a lot of work before the general election. And of course, our concern is if that seat goes, then we lose the majority in the Senate. And that will have impacts on the Hearst decision, certainly, and eventually may have some impacts on capital budget. And certainly from the long run, it would leave a majority in both the House and the Senate for the Democrats. And we know that the Democratic Party is pushing for an income tax and several other types of taxes. So the party has brought in a manager from North Carolina in a district that was somewhat similar, has had good results to manage the campaign into the general election. And in review of the process, notably, and what many people would consider a good gesture, the candidate, Jen Young England, chose not to do dirty campaigning. And unfortunately, she took that so far that a number of charges were made against her that were never answered. And we think that that had an impact on the outcome of the election. So we as a party prepared to defend that seat as we go forward. We're certainly no longer going to allow that happen. If a charge is made which is patently false, there's going to be a response to it, and we'll be getting literature out there. The point that I want to make is that we, from the standpoint of the data that we have and resources that we have, the party is planning to do an all-out offensive to retain that seat so that we don't lose it. Thank you.
So Ron, this information's on the website too?
Yeah, a lot of it, yes, would be available on the WSRP.org.
Okay. Thank you.
One thing I wanted to remind folks is at 4 o'clock today, there's going to be a budget orientation, and anyone who wants to come in and have an orientation to the budget that Becky's providing, we would welcome that.
Okay.
And I think that's on our published agenda, too. Yes, on Wednesday. Wednesday at 4 o'clock. Flood Control Zone District Funding Meeting in our boardroom.
With no further business, I move to adjourn.
Second?
Okay, a motion is made and second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Adjourn. Thank you.
You are invited to immerse yourself in the beauty of nature in all four corners of Lewis County, Washington. From our fields to your table, farms in the west share their bounty. Limitless landscapes, forests and mountains beg to be explored in the east. Fish our many rivers and lakes in the south, and discover where history and culture intersect in our twin cities. Explore it all by visiting our Facebook page and plan your next getaway at discoverlewiscounty.com. Culture, history, and adventure all come alive when you discover Lewis County.